Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be closing out my budget from our paycheck on February 7th. And again, if you guys are new here, if this is your first time watching my videos, I do like to budget out every paycheck, which we do get paid bi-weekly, so it's every 2 weeks. A couple of things with this budget. This one was a little bit different from my previous one. A lot of things kind of a little bit more things going on this time around. So before I start adding everything up and kind of closing it out, I wanted to show you this side right here really quick. I did already anticipate on my husband being a little bit short, like a few $100s short in his paycheck that's going to be that we're going to be getting tomorrow on February 21st. It's Thursday, February 20th right now that I'm filming this. So I wanted to make sure that instead of making sure we keep $300 in our paycheck until our payday tomorrow, we wanted to keep a little bit more in there. So just an extra $100 in there to make sure that we'll be okay with the bills. Also, a couple of things with this budget as I was tracking our expenses was that we ended up getting billed for DirecTV, which we were told we will not be getting billed and we would actually be getting a refund. So I kind of caught that, and thankfully we had money in our account to kind of cover to make sure we don't really exactly zero out, because again, I did make sure that we were going to be leaving money in there for our next paycheck. Also, our DMV check hasn't cleared yet for when we paid our registration, so I need to make sure that I carry that over into the next budget to make sure we don't spend that extra money. So we'll actually be having more than 400 bucks in our account. I think we'll have for sure like six something in there. And yeah, our goal, as soon as I figured out how much we could spend to make sure that we keep this goal amount, $400 in our account, I kept kind of adding up all of our expenses and making sure we stay on track, and kind of let my husband know, like, hey, our goal to spend for this week is just 127, or for the next couple of days and stuff, so that we make sure we don't go over, because some of the budget categories we did not actually go over on. So I'll explain that again. I'll explain that later. So I'm going to go ahead and just add everything up. Hopefully that all made sense, what I kind of explained. Kind of wanted to show you how I'm using the section, a blank little section here for me, because I don't use cash envelopes. So yeah, that's kind of what I did. So let me go ahead and just add everything up. So really quickly, I wanted to mention how I make sure that I don't add up anything else from the previous paycheck. I drew a line, but I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't paying attention. I drew a line underneath our income that we received for this budget. So I just made an arrow and kind of put it over here. So yeah, kind of made a line there just to make sure I don't add anything else from another date. Okay, so I actually did it right the first time. I got all of the expenses and stuff in there correctly, because I actually have this much left over. Or technically, I think I have It's 451 plus 10, 460, 461, and I'm okay with that $2 variance because I've been my variance has been bigger than that before, and I had to go back and figure it out. I'm okay with that. So so adding everything up, here on the income side, it's our paycheck, leftover cash, leftover from our checking, which I had set up when I did the budget. And then here I did add sinking, or the rest of my money that I had in my sinking fund, which was $55. And then my mom did pay us back for the flight that we booked for her. And then, of course, that increased our income. And then adding up all of our bills, we ended up with $869, which is a little bit less than our expected budget. But for this paycheck as well, we did go to the ER for my 3-year-old, so that was unexpected, so we paid for that. We didn't take it out of our emergency fund or anything like that, or our miscellaneous savings. We kind of just thought about, well, let's just work it into our budget and see what we can cut, so that we don't have to dip into our savings. And then my RSI on registration, the check has not cleared yet, so I got to make sure again to make sure that I add that to my next budget. And then the 165, I think I will be adding, I'll go ahead and transfer 165 from our miscellaneous savings account, and to kind of cover that, because we will need that money to cover other bills. And then once we get, hopefully, fingers crossed, that we get refunded that amount, I'll go ahead and transfer that back into savings to make sure we pay our savings back. And then here in our variable spending for food, I honestly thought we were going to be over with food because we were eating out a lot. My husband and I were not feeling that great this month, and it sucks when both parents are not feeling too great, because the last thing I want to do is cook. We did have some frozen meals and stuff at home and try to cook what we could at home. For the most part, we did eat out way more than we usually do. So I really thought we were going to be over. And household, we were under budget. Transportation, this is the one that I knew I was going to be under, which kind of helped balance out, I guess, for our medical or ER visit, because we didn't get a chance to get my brakes replaced, so that was way under budget. The kids' budget was over because we did decide to get them a haircut for the wedding that we're going to be in, or they're going to be in, for this Saturday. My husband was under budget. I, of course, was over budget, kind of, I guess, because I did use my sinking fund money, or the rest of it. And then for fun and events, we did go over by $17. And then for miscellaneous spending, we were under. So our total was still under what we had budgeted. And we still had some money left over. And then I carried it, of course, over here to our savings. We did decide to save $265. That $200 was for my mom, and then $65 is what we decided to save instead of the $50. So $265 to go into our miscellaneous savings, and then instead of $95 to go into our Hawaii fund, we did $80 instead, because that's what we withdrew from the ATM. So that's what we did. And then so a total into savings was $345, which gives us a leftover amount of $781. And then carried over down here to our extra debt payment, we did pay off a chunk of my Synchrony card, which was $322, which we are right on track. So fingers crossed, nothing big unexpected happens. We should be paying that off by the March 6th paycheck. And then leftover amount is $459, which actually we have, I like to always write this out. So actual checking account is $451 plus $10 cash is $461. So that's what we have total, and that's what is going to get carried over into the next paycheck. or to the next budget. I just need to update that in my Fudget app because right now I had this much left over. So I'll go ahead and update that, and then that is what it's going to get carried over. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will talk to you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.